What if the most dangerous virtual humans aren't in a video game, but on a battlefield? There is a new kind of war being fought, not for land or resources, but for reality itself. And on one side stands a force of virtual humans. When I say virtual humans, I'm not talking about AI. I'm talking about real soldiers transformed by a system. The IDF in this conflict presents a terrifying case study. Human beings operating like a next-generation AI. They process data, not pain. They follow protocols, not compassion. Their morality is outsourced to a command structure that values efficiency over humanity. They are the ultimate virtual humans, biologically real, but emotionally and ethically disconnected. They see the world through a UI, a screen, a crosshair. The human on the other end isn't a person with a family, a history, a soul. They are a target asset, a blip to be neutralized. And this virtual human doesn't operate alone. It's supported by an entire architecture, military technology that creates distance and denial, government policy that legalizes the virtual and criminalizes the real, a media narrative that speaks in the sterile language of collateral damage and surgical strikes, and a public relations machine that works 24/7 to maintain the illusion. They build a virtual world for you to consume, a world where every action is justified, every death is a statistic, and the endless, brutal repetition of violence is framed as progress. It's a reality so polished, so virtual, that the raw, screaming truth can't break through. But what happens when you introduce an element the system cannot compute? What happens when you sail a fleet of raw, unarmed, undeniable humanity directly into its path? This is the global Sumud Flotilla. Sumud is not just a word, it's a principle. It means to remain, to be steadfast, to be rooted in your land, your dignity, and your truth, no matter the storm. Their weapons are not virtual. They are profoundly real. The weapon of physical presence. You cannot drone strike a fact. The weapon of moral clarity. Their mission is not destruction, but deliverance. The weapon of global solidarity. This isn't one group. It's the world waking up. So the stage was set for the ultimate clash. And just as the system's logic dictated, the virtual humans labeled the flotilla a maritime threat, a provocation, a data point to be neutralized. They issued warnings, they deployed patrol boats, and they operated exactly as their programming demanded, by abducting them. But in that moment of abduction, the system failed, because the people on those boats, they were not a data point. They were journalists. They were lawmakers. They were your neighbors. They are the physical embodiment of a conscience the virtual humans have tried to delete. When the virtual humans confronted them, they were forced to process something their code has no answer for: unbreakable eye contact. The terrifying, illogical power of peaceful resistance. And this is exactly why the flotilla was so dangerous to the system. It wasn't just about breaking a blockade. It was about breaking a narrative. It forced the world to watch the collision of two realities. On one side, a perfectly efficient virtual soldier following orders. On the other, a weeping, praying, unarmed human being detained. You were forced to watch, and you are forced to choose. Which one is real? Which one are you? The virtual humans bet that their world is stronger, that we will accept this simulation of security over humanity. The flotilla bet that our humanity is stronger, that when faced with this truth, we will remember who we are. Their abduction isn't the end of the story. It's a test for all of us. Will we log into the virtual world of complacency, or will we stand in solidarity in the messy, painful, beautiful reality they risked everything to defend?